Hello everyone, welcome to the EBM Scholars live on the road. So today I'm going to be live here uh, with my family, but I'll be doing important interview on issues related to green card by marriage. That will be one of the things, and just overall American culture. I know people might have some questions they might want to know on issues related to American life. So, what is the better way of understanding American life than interviewing someone who is a real American compared
I'm a
it to
real American.
compared it to someone like me who I came here and I'm learning from her and from other Americans. So, here is the person I will be interviewing. This is my wife Marie. She is driving right now, so I'll be asking her a few questions on this live. From there, we can be able to go along to be in a position to answer also your questions if you have. And over there is Benedict, and then Claire at the end, Faustina behind my chair here. So
Hello,
she's just
everyone.
there.
Welcome. Glad to have you with us.
Yeah, so I know people have started putting some questions.
Already?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
So we are on the road. I can show you where.
I think that's the Mud River.
Yeah. So we were in West Virginia in one of the states, and I recorded some of the videos I will show you later. But now we are moving from one state, from West Virginia.
What tax dollars do.
Yeah. So from West Virginia, now we are going to another city or another state in Ohio. So this is the city, Huntington, West Virginia, is the city where I came here for the first time when I came to America. So that's why we visited here. Then we are going to where my wife went for college. So that's why we are here to, yeah. So thank you so much, each and everyone who has been joining now. I see. Yeah, so let me go and start asking some few questions, and then from there I will make sure that if you have any question from her or for me, I will be able to direct those kind of questions. Okay, so I know people usually ask me how did I get my green card, and I remember one day in the group, in the Telegram group, people were asking questions and want to know whether I got my green card through marriage or through green card lottery, because I talk a lot about green card lottery, so people wanted to know. So there are different ways on how one person can get a green card, and one among the ways is if you get married to American citizen, there is a process you have to follow. If you are here in the US, you do what you call the adjustment of status and you become American citizen.
Just do it the right way. Don't do it.
So, first, before let me see what I can do. Okay. So, number one, the first question I can ask to Marie.
Yes. Sorry if I don't look. It's kind of
yeah. So she's driving. Yeah. So
I'm driving, and I don't want to get anyone hurt. So.
Okay. The first question I can ask you is. You had the opportunity, I don't know whether it's the opportunity or whatever. Now your husband is from another country.
Yes.
From Africa.
Right.
Number one, the first question, have you ever been to Africa before you met me as your husband?
No. The closest to Africa I ever got was Western Europe for a very short time. But and that was in college, but even before that, all I'd been inside of just over the border of Canada once, and that was it. So no.
And how many Africans have you met in person before me?
I don't even know if I met any. I mean, maybe, but I mean, it's kind of crazy but then I lived in a suburb of Los Angeles, and when you get to the suburbs of Los Angeles, it's way different than the city. So there's not like a melting pot in the suburbs, you know. So I don't remember meeting any Africans.
Okay, so when you met me and you are getting engaged and you plan to get married.
Which is all very fast.
Yeah. Were you worried I was just here to get married just for the matter of green card?
Well, I had already met some people because we met on eHarmony, right? So I had already been interacting with other people before I met you, who I kind of was, thinking, well, what if they're only talking to me because they want a green card? This was 11 years ago, but I still kind of, I knew. But once I met you and I talked to you, it was pretty obvious that you weren't trying to date me or any of that for a green card. I don't know. You kind of have what people call it spidey senses. I say have my antennas up. I pretty much knew. But of the other people, I would search Facebook, I would friend their friends. I would talk to their friends. I wanted to know the whole deal. Just, and with you, it was, I came and met you. I met people that you went to school with. It was very obvious that you were not dating me or we were engaged and getting married. You weren't doing that for a green card. It's nice to be an American citizen, granted. That's great. But in the end, you didn't even get the green card because we were married.
And another thing,
or the citizenship.
Citizenship to be in particular, because I got to by marriage.
Oh, that's right.
But citizenship I got because I was in the military. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Sorry.
Another related question is, some people, they want to have the experience, or they want to know. After getting married, we did a lot of forms, filling the forms, all those kind of things. But one of the steps is the green card interview.
Yes.
So there is a difference between a green card by marriage and green card by lottery,
Yes.
or any other ways on the interview part. And especially
right.
green card by lottery, if you're outside the United States, the interview is different and you are doing it at the US Embassy.
Yes.
But if you are here, there is a certain process, but is a difference when it comes to the green card by marriage. Because one of the things, green card by marriage, on the interview, both of you have to appear on the interview.
Yes.
That's number one.
And we had Benedict at the time.
And at the time, yes, Bennett was born.
I was so nervous. I didn't want well, I was not nervous because I was lying. I was nervous that we wouldn't be proper because we had this child with us who was all over the place, and that I would say, that I would say the wrong thing or I don't know. But I think you'll get to it. But it ended up that we were so authentic. It was, I couldn't help it.
And one of the things we did, number one, we said we are not going to practice any question. Because once you practice questions, you are memorizing answers. And that is the wrong way because the question can be, okay, so when did you get married? You don't need to memorize that because you are part of the wedding.
And
where did you go for the honeymoon, or where did you meet?
Right. So when I was growing up, there was this movie that was called Green Card. It was a drama with Andy McDowell and Gerard Depardieu, or however you say his name. Anyway, and they married. He married her for the green card. She married him so she could have this nice apartment. Obviously, that's the wrong thing to do. And through the movie, you see that. And that they practiced all these questions. They had fake pictures and letters and all of this stuff, and they got caught. And the man, he was from France, and he was getting deported. And granted, it's a movie, and they actually fell in love and all of that, but he still got deported. But you can't, it's very hard to trick the government.
Yeah.
So
but the best way...
We know people who have tried and got in trouble.
Yeah, so the best way is basically to not to worry too much, because the questions are normal, but if you are really married, the normal questions, like where did you meet? You cannot say, Marie said we met on eHarmony, and they say, oh, we met on tourism in Africa, when she has never been even to Africa. So that is the way.
And they would know that I've been to Africa because the government tracks where you've been. And
because you are given your passport, all this kind of things.
So, yeah.
Another thing which you don't need, so the questions are basic, and you have to submit the documents to prove that one, you got married, but also was a genuine marriage, a bona fide marriage, by showing the documentations, like, okay, you live in the same house, or you have the same bank account, you are in the same insurance.
Yeah,
all those kind of things.
Can I just point one thing out? That's really, I've never understood, even by American standards, why people don't have a joint bank account. I mean, I get it if you have business and things like that, but really, for a husband and wife not to have a joint bank account, I personally don't understand. I mean, once you're married, everything is, what's mine is yours and yours is mine, and we're all, so why would I want to have if I need money, I get money, and if you need money, you get money. So having a joint bank account is definitely going to legitimize your marriage. It's going to show that you are really married.
And if you have a child, it is written there among the evidence. If you have a child, you have to include the birth certificate of the child. And that is the biggest evidence than any evidence. So for our case, because when we got married, we didn't apply right away for the green card. We just waited because we got married on May 1st, 2010, and we did our application almost in 2011, in middle, almost end of 2011, because I got my green card in 2012. In beginning, whatever, on April or something like that. So I didn't apply green card right away, and already Bennett was already born a year and a half later. So for that particular case, even when we go there, we went with Benedict, it was easier interview in that way. I remember the guy started talking about the movie and my accent, whatever. Yeah. So it's just a normal, friendly interview conversation.
But it was so obvious because we were trying to deal with Benedict. I mean, he was all over the place, and I mean, how could it not be real? I mean,
because he was already walking around.
Yeah, and he was
a year and a half.
Yeah, so, and I mean, even Ernest and I just talking back and forth, it was obvious that we were married. You could tell. We loved each other. You could tell that we talked to each other normal. It wasn't this stunted, stoic kind of,
Yeah, so those were just like the interview. For me, if I have to give you the advice, would be don't memorize those questions.
No.
Because even if you really get married, you will be nervous to the extent you want, I forgot the question. Because the question, they're on internet. They're basic question. What is your name? Where did you meet? When was the marriage? Where is your wife from?
How do you forget those things?
You cannot forget because you don't need to practice those. Once you start to practice those is how you are going to get caught, because you'll be so much nervous and you are focusing on memorizing the questions and the answers instead of your reality and being truthful.
Right.
Okay, so that is overall what you can simply say the green card when it comes to the marriage and interview. You can get the marriage from the court, you can get whatever, but there is the official government license, which no matter where you get married, you must use it. That is the one you will be able to use it, one of the evidence. Then from that one, you are going to have backup evidences of other things, and the other things you have mentioned about the photos, the engagement, the living in the same apartment, having been in the same insurance, joint bank account, if you have a child together, all those things are part of the evidences which are going to be added there. So let me look quick questions. Casey say, watching you from Gambia in West Africa. Thank you so much for what you are doing for us. Abdallah, you are saying some with high case numbers getting confirmation emails, while others aren't even getting documents email. The reason being is depending if someone with high case number submitted in June last year and another with high case number, even if your number is one, you submitted today, it will be late to receive. So it's first come, first served, but the priority will be also for the low case numbers. Okay, so people are watching from Dubai. Hello, is the new information about interviews or second notification letter? Girma, we are talking just about the green card by marriage and the overall life in America.
Oh, there's a big hill, guys. Ooh, look at. Whoa.
Yeah.
Sorry, the kids like hills.
Yeah, so there is a message to say hi to you from someone. Okay, Kenya. Someone is in Kenya.
Habari in Kenya.
Agnoa say, I just have my set my notification letter. I just have my second notification letter from the embassy. That's very, very good. When is your interview date? Okay. There is someone says humble family. Hi, mom and kids.
Thanks for being here. Thank you for supporting my husband's channel. So grateful. We are so looking forward to the day that he gets 100,000 subscribers and he gets that plaque. That's going to be incredible. There will be a party.
That means if you haven't subscribed, what you need to do is to subscribe.
It's so easy. Just press the button.
Yeah,
It doesn't cost you anything. It's so easy. Just and tell all your friends. I mean, seriously, 100,000 and he gets that plaque. That would be so cool.
Okay, Daniel from Ghana. God bless you for wonderful work you are doing.
Oh, God bless
to
you
humanity.
too.
My question is, how far is the increment of increment of the visas from 55,000 to 80,000? That one is a long process. As I mentioned, the bill it hasn't been introduced officially into the Congress. It is in the Judiciary Committee at the moment. It will take a little bit longer. So, Agno, you are saying I'm supposed to attend the interview with my daughter, but is she in Cameroon and can't make it to UAE without affecting my interview? My advice will be find any way so that you can go together on the interview with your daughter. Because if your daughter doesn't get the interview, in the end, it has to be interviewed before September 30th. If she doesn't get interviewed by September 30th, she will never get the visa. And you'll come here alone and you will process like any other green card holder to bring someone in America, and it will cost you 3 to 4 years. Your case number is around 3,000. Thank you. Once you get your interview and you get your visa, and if you wanted to check on me on my inbox, we can have the interview together here, and you can share your experience for the interview, for the developer interview, so that other people can be able to enjoy that one. Kwaku Mante, you are saying, in fact, your wife is very beautiful. God bless your family.
Thank you. This is so sweet. She don't want something. I don't know what she says.
Yeah, she's not crying at the moment. She wants apple juice.
Benny, can you help her with the apple juice, please?
Apple juice. Just drink a little bit.
Yeah, because otherwise it sprays everywhere.
It sprays everywhere.
This is normal family life. Yep. Lasagna,
Bokria, you are watching from Sierra Leone.
What do they say?
So someone says it's like the reality show.
It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard for us to be fake.
Yeah, so we haven't shown you outside because there is nothing exciting at the moment.
And not only that, but it's true. It's cloudy and dark and raining. So
yeah. So that's the
sorry.
reason. Yeah. Mark, you are watching live from Togo. Thank you so much. D, your question is, what if you are on a visitor's visa in the United States and meet someone there and decide to marry that person? That's okay. You'll also be able to do adjustment of status. But if you have someone and your intention is to come to get married, you are technically not allowed to come with a visitor's visa to get married. You have to come as a fiancé visa. But just to come for the visiting and you meet someone, there is no problem. If you get married, you do what you call adjustment of status. You do adjusting your status from the visitor's visa, which is B1, B2. I don't know, but to be some of the processing, yeah. So this West Virginia state is very big in industries, especially the coal processing.
Going in Kentucky.
Yeah.
What was in Kentucky? Look, it says, look at Kentucky right there.
Yeah. So.
Can I get a napkin? Just a minute. See, welcome to Kentucky.
Yeah, welcome to Kentucky. So you're in another state already. This is where Berea College is. I've been talking about Berea College. So Berea College is in the state of Kentucky. And now we just entered in the state of Kentucky.
And it's one of the most beautiful states.
Yeah. So, and Ashland is the first city from West Virginia or from Huntington. So yes, if you come here, you meet someone, you get married, there is no problem with that. You'll be able to do what you call adjustment of status. There is no difference between that one and someone came as a student.
Keep right to US 23.
Yeah. Someone say, Muhammad says, so happy for this life. Thank you. Another person, Julius from Sierra Leone. Thank you. I want to work overseas in my US-based company. Is this possible? I want to understand your question. You are already in the US, you want to work overseas in a US-based company overseas, or you are overseas, you want to work in the US?
Yeah, I think the person's asking. They work in a US-based company in their country.
Yes.
And they want to know if they can come to the United States and work for the same company. That's what I think. Is that what you're asking?
If that is what you are asking, it is possible as long as that company is going to hire you.
Yeah, and they have
but there is no guarantee that because you work with company A, which is branch or subsidiary company in another country, that when you come here, you have the same or similar position.
Because they also have to give you a work visa,
work permit, the work visa. Then once you are here, and again, you remember you are working. Once you come here, it depends which state is that company is, because you might come here, and what if the state is in New York and you don't want to live in New York?
And it's expensive. I mean, there are places that the United States is enormous, and every place is different. And even within the states themselves, there's more expensive places and less expensive. I mean, you really have to do your research.
Yeah.
I mean, and it depends. You want to end up in a bad neighborhood just because it's inexpensive.
And he's asking a little question: what are the tax implications should I consider? So the tax implications depends on so many factors. Number one, if you are American citizen or green card holder, no matter where you are, you have to file the tax in the United States. So if, let's say, for me, I work in Tanzania, I work in Ghana, I will pay the tax. Yes, over the local there, they want me to pay the tax in the country where I am, and I have to pay the tax in America. So
you could give them the example of the people that wanted to leave Nigeria.
Oh, so there is the example of Nigeria, which is a very good example I can give to you. What happened was during the pandemic, when it started, around the March going to April, the U.S. government was sending the charter flights to bring back American citizens who are stuck in different countries because of the COVID. So basically, they can estimate how many Americans there in that particular country, because once you travel, you have to report or something like that. So they said all Americans come to the airport on this day to go back. So expectation maybe the flight with maybe 500 people. I'm giving an example. So they assume obviously there would not be more than 500 Americans in the country. So when they say that, they showed over 3,000-4,000 people at the airport, because there are so many people who are in Nigeria, have either dual citizenship or they are green card holder. Most of their citizens, they are staying there in the country for a longer time. And if you're American citizen, which is the difference between a green card and American citizen, I can live in any country even for 50 years without notifying the US government. But I have to be able to file the tax each year. So majority of people have never filed the tax. So for that particular case, those people, they were not allowed to come to get into this flight, because you have never been a good citizen for the matter of hiding the tax. And if you get into the flight, come here, number one thing, you have to start to go to pay the tax, or you go to prison.
And prison's no joke.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, It's American prison, but it's still prison.
Mageza San say habari.
Habari.
Hilary Ombas watching from MN. MN meaning Minnesota or MN mean?
Yeah, MN.
Yeah, I think so because it's the M, capital M, and small N. I think it's Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota is the only thing I can think of.
Bridget Graves says Alabama, so in love with a man in Pakistan. We video chat every day and text all day for 2 years. You give me hope. We want to get him here to visit. I don't know where to start. Advice.
Wait, is she?
Yes,
American?
so she's American. She's in Alabama. She has been in contact with someone for over 2 years. So
Yeah.
few things. Number obvious.
Have they ever actually met?
No, so you can. She's asking for the visiting visa.
Okay.
Because you cannot apply for the K1 visa, fiancé visa, if you have never met in person, unless otherwise there is some extremely reason why you cannot be able to travel and meet someone in person. So what you can do is you say you want to find a way to ask for the tourist visa. So tourist visa has 2 or 3 steps. The first one, you, the person who is in America, you in Alabama, you have to send invitation letter. An invitation letter is just a normal friendly letter. Dear EBM or dear so-and-so, how are you? You are doing fine. So you can type it. Or this Thanksgiving, coming up Thanksgiving this year, 2021, we wanted to have just all the family together because you have my family for over 2 years, 3 years. I wanted to invite you to come to experience Thanksgiving here in America with my family. And you'll be able to spend with us maybe for the period of 2 weeks. While you'll be here, we'll be doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you'll be able to stay in my house or in our apartment for that particular time. And maybe I'll cover the flight ticket. I'm giving an example. So that's just a normal friendly letter. And then I know for that particular situation, you'll be able to go to spend time back to your family in that way. So that is the first letter, which we call just a normal friendly invitation letter. You are sending that letter direct to a person. The second letter, you are writing letter, you are addressing that letter to the consular officer. Even if you don't send it direct to the consular officer, you will send it to your friend, and your friend will go with that letter. Also, the invitation letter you send, but also the letter you are addressing to the consular. The letter to the consular has 2 main purposes. Number 1 is to identify yourself in relation to your immigration status. My name is Ernest Makulilo, and I'm the United States citizen. And here is my evidence to prove my immigration status, the passport. So if you are just a green card holder, you just say that way. My name is so-and-so, and I'm green card holder with this is my number or this is my ID.
What if a person doesn't have a passport? They're an American citizen, but they don't
have a
passport.
Birth certificate.
Okay.
American citizen by birth, you have birth certificate.
So you can't show your driver's license.
The driver's license doesn't prove your immigration status.
That's what I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
What about the real IDs?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
American citizen, you prove by 2 things. You are proving by birth certificate, or you are proving by what? The passport.
Can you give a copy of your birth certificate?
Yes, it's just you scan it. You scan it. It's just
okay. So the same thing with the passport. You're going to scan it or copy
you just scan it.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, you scan them. So the letter to the consular, you are introducing yourself as a U.S. citizen or whatever immigration status you have. That's number 1, and you should prove the evidence of the immigration status. And secondly, you are asking the consul to consider the visa for that particular person, and you will be the one as the host of that particular person, will be able to stay with you. For that particular case, you are removing the burden of the person to show a proof of the hotel where are you going to stay for the period of 2 weeks. So I will be staying with my apartment, and my address is this one. Or we'll be staying with our house for this particular period. But if you say I'm going to purchase the ticket, you don't need to purchase the ticket for that. You just mention. So you can say even if the person will be able to purchase the ticket, you can just say I'll be purchasing the ticket just to reduce the burden of the person to have shown so many evidences to prove or to show.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Is there an example letter online somewhere?
Yeah, there are there.
Okay, because that would help people that just start. Maybe they never write a letter like that before.
I can do another way. I I can create a template of both letters, and they'll put a link. You can be able to see sample of these two letters. The first one is I'm just inviting just someone, and you can modify. And another one will be just addressing to the consular officer and what attachment you are going to put that one. So those are the two documents you're supposed to have, the two invitation letters and the supporting documents. But just because you are a US citizen, just because you are a green card holder, you are inviting someone, doesn't mean that the person will be given the visa.
There's no automatic.
There is no automatic, there's no guarantee. It comes to another person. Now to come to that person, when you go to the interview, the person has to prove to the consular officer, because he's applying what we call non-immigrant visa. Non-immigrant visa is the visa which you come to the United States on the temporary basis. That means you come here, you stay here for a short time, then you go back to your home country. So prove to the US embassy or to the consular officer in particular that I'm going to America, I'm planning to go there to stay for 2 or 3 weeks, and once my visit is over, I will come back to my home country. So show the evidences, things which will force you, will convince you to go back to your home country.
Yeah, family,
you
have a job, you have to pay your bill, whatever it is.
All assets you have a farm, you have whatever, all the evidences. But don't say, I'm very much patriotic to my country.
No, they don't care about that.
They don't care about your word. Just they want actual, tangible things. Yeah. So don't say, this is the farm of my father. Yes, it's your father, it's not you. We are interviewing you. So if you want to tell your father to give that, donate that to you, and you have the title deed with your name, that's what they come.
Because they want to make sure you're not going to stay here.
Yes.
Everything has to be legal. So make it easy for them to give you the visitor's visa.
Yes. So those are the things you need at that particular situation. The interview, all immigrant visa assumption is written officially into the website. That whenever any person is applying for the visa, the first assumption is that you are going to be planning to come here and stay forever. So prove to them that you will be coming here and go back to your home country. I think that I answered it correctly. Basiru Isa. Oh, this person.
Oh my gosh! Somebody just turned in front of us. These bad drivers.
Okay, Basiru watching from Cameroon. Greetings to your wife and the kids.
Hi.
Yeah, Claire is at the back over there. Okay, Pasco. Hi, EBM.
We don't understand. Hang that up.
Yeah, because it's already cancelled that.
There's like Tim Hortons.
What? Oh.
Tim Hortons is usually only in Canada.
Yeah. Maybe one Canadian came here.
No, they've been bringing them to the United States, but still I was surprised.
So it's over 8 months since I got submitted my DSC 260, but no sign from KCC to submit the supporting documents. My case number is 29,000 Africa. So almost up to 20,000, I think they have started getting their email to submit the documents. Remember, 29,000 going to 34,000 is going to be available very soon. It's going to be available to be on the visa bulletin. Is going to be in the month of May. So for that case, this April you'll be likely to get your email to get the information. The Uganda village wife, beautiful family, just checked in to say hello. Thank you. She lives in London. I'm in England. I don't remember if it's exactly London. We have been live once with her.
Oh, okay.
She's from Uganda, yeah.
In 1.1 miles.
Watching live from Dubai, watching from Somalia. Chance for the highest number for the video. Oh, that UPS guy is, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's just so...
It depends on the highest number because some people 20,000
there too.
This is the thing in Kentucky.
I guess so. They're turning on the middle thing. Yes, I see it.
Okay, Bridget, you have the other question. I'm concerned about financial requirement to sponsor for a visit. For a visit, you don't sponsor someone. Because you are sponsoring someone to become a green card holder if you get married. But if you invite someone, that person has the responsibility to prove that is financially stable to come here in America and be going back to their home country without being tempted to stay in America. What you will do is a tourist visitor visa, B1, B2. You can just say, I'll pay for the ticket and you will stay on my end. That is the only thing you can offer. But you are not obliged to submit any documentation to say that, oh, this person is visiting, I'm the sponsor. No. Frank Limo say, bro, una deni na mimi la kuja Virginia. We got a baby last year. Her name is Claire too.
Oh, wow. Habari.
Yeah, Frank Limo is Tanzanian, is in Virginia, and we have met many times. Whenever I go to DC or Virginia, we have to meet.
How do they spell Claire?
It's Claire with is different.
Claire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so congratulations so much.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Comments went all up.
Oh, we have so many comments.
Okay. Amadou Ba watching from Paris, France. You have a very big family. I invite you in Paris. Thank you so much.
Oh.
I have never been outside the airport. I've been there like 3 times, 4 times.
I was in Paris about 20 years ago we were waiting for our next train. So it was about 10 hours. It was interesting.
Yeah, so
we ran out of money. We couldn't change our money. It was too late.
I've been to Charles de Gaulle, whatever. Yeah,
Charles de Gaulle, yeah.
Yeah, Charles de Gaulle, the airport.
You can't turn left there. Thanks.
Watching from Togo.
No, not yet. Turn left on 10th Street.
Okay, Delton is saying, so you are in Delton, you are in the US. You want to work in overseas companies, but only by the United States. Now I get to your question.
Okay.
So you are asking, so if you go to work overseas, what are the tax implications? So the good thing is this way. If, for the tax purposes, if you work overseas and you earn less than 107,000 US dollar, less than that, you don't pay tax. You'll file tax, but they don't charge you because the income is on overseas. But also, you have to pay also the tax in the country where you are. So, that is how it is. But also, so in the end, you file the tax there, and then just like how you do in the US, if you work in one state and you live in another state, so you file in state A, and then you take the tax you file in state A, you go to file it in state B. For instance, that's what I do. I work in Kansas, but I live in Missouri. So I file it for the tax where I get the income from Kansas. After finishing that one, I also come to file it in the Missouri side. So if you file, you do income overseas, you file the overseas tax, and then you take the tax from overseas. You also come to file on the federal income on this particular US. Yeah. And and there are so many tax experts who know all the procedures and the tax, even the loopholes if you work overseas. My advice would be, if you're going to work overseas, do whatever it takes. Talk to the tax professional before you go, because they'll give you a lot of the regulations, and if there are any updates, you can be able to change or to consider that way.
It's all wet, sweetheart.
Please, Mageza Hassan say, please, my case number is 61,000. I think we will have a chance to be reached. Possible, yes, I can say that way, because not everybody will be able to. Yeah.
Hold on, let me just go take a picture real quick. That I'm actually in Kentucky, and then.
Okay. Wait a second, Faustina. Mama is coming.
I need to get up. Just need to get something. Maybe.
Okay. Headhunter, you say, when family-based immigration appointments F4 will start in India. According to the briefing, Faustina, Mama is coming. According to the briefing of March, the problem I'm using the cell phone, so I cannot copy and paste here. But according to the briefing in March, the family-based immigration and the green card lottery are the number one priority for the immigration from.
It's got to be a full state. No, it's not.
Get it down.
Smoked bacon
Just
shoelaces.
Okay, so that's how it is. So the family-based immigration, green card by work, and also K visas, fiancé visas are the priority, and that is according to the March. According to the March March 1st briefing from the Deputy Acting Secretary of State for dealing with the visas. Zulaika, you say, beautiful family, thank you. EB3 update, please wait, interview Pakistan Embassy. Last 1.5 years. Hi, I'm Musa Kamara from Liberia, but currently living in Ukraine. Thank you. The Uganda village wife, we say, lovely to see your beautiful family. Blessing to you all. Thank you. Are you causing trouble?
Yes.
Lula, you say, expedited for pregnancy. What chance they will approve? I don't understand your question. Like, you are pregnant right now, and you want them to give what type of visa? They cannot give express visa to come to America just to have a child.
Pardon me, Baba. Hey, tell them please stop doing stuff.
Cool.
Both of them.
Claire, Elizabeth Juso, greetings, greeting EBM family. Thank you. Lydia, I know nothing. What about I participate in the lottery 2021 in Qatar? What if it comes out when I win the lottery? What do I need to do next? When you are going to fill the visa form, you will choose the interview, whether you want to fill the visa interview to be done in Qatar, or you want to do in your home country. It will be on your own to decide. Ishaq, Mehwish, you say, please waiting interview Pakistan, last 1.5 years. Yeah, so sorry it has taken that long, and hopefully we will be able to do that, to get it very soon. Uganda village wife, you say, the visa routes into the US sound similar to the ones in the UK, providing you'll be going back to the home country. Exactly. You have to show the evidence that you'll be going to your home country. Bridget, you say, thank you so much. Is there any other way you and your wife would be willing to answer my questions? I'm trying to be careful. If so, what info should I give to you here on email or Facebook? What you can do this way. Either of the two, write your email here. I can screenshot because I'm in live now. I don't want to mess up anything because I'm using the phone. Or the Facebook, or just go to my Facebook and write me a message, or my Instagram. Then if you send me DM on Instagram, then I can DM you, and then I can find a way to call you. And that will be the easy way. If you go to my Instagram, it is EBM signature. just like when you do any signature, so it's EBM signature. That is the most I use it frequently, but I have another account, EBM Scholars, or you can send the message on my Facebook inbox, or you can send me, let me try to screenshot if to be able to take this one. I don't know. I don't want to mess up anything. So send me your email or something, then I can email you and then you can be able to get you in touch. Ruth V. Mori, hi, I'm in the US. My husband is in India. We haven't applied for the spouse visa yet. Is there any images that I can show except for the medical ones by which he can come here by visitor's visa? For the visitor's visa is only supposed to be medical related. Because the other ways, if he's applying for a school, the school is looking like images because you are going direct to the, you are going for school. That means the school is supposed to be open on a particular date. But if you are going to a normal visitor, it has to be in a medical related, something like that. If you have a certain medical situation and he has to come, yes, he has to come as a visitor to support you. Sunche Marcel, case status changed from refused to administrative processing. What does that mean? It means maybe they refused the status. Now they are reviewing the same decision, whether they have to change. I do not know your situation, but there are some people who were refused the visa, maybe based on the coming from the country of. Yeah, I'm still alive. So there are some people who are refused the visa based maybe coming from the travel banning country. So all those, for instance, those visas, especially like maybe the family based, but you're coming from those countries, now they are going to be in the administrative reviewing and possible to be given the visas again. Mensa Agustina, you say, what month is the result coming out? For the Division 22 results will be out on May 8th. Bridget is so lovely and kind, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So thanks so much, and let me know. Kobe, you say great family, thank you. Eric Momanyi was supposed to be from Kenya. Hey EBM, our case number is 2021, and then you put 3 all these numbers. So since we sent our DS number email, we have to go to this. So first of all, I do not know. You put so many X. What is that number? Because when you say, if it is 2 star, 1 star is 30. So you have to be specific when you put the number of stars. Is it 300, 3,000, 30,000? If it's 30,000, you have to wait to get your information. Patrick Togolani, hi, good morning from New York. Naona upo na familia, waambie mambo vipi? Okay, better they say mambo.
Oh, mambo.
Yeah.
Hand me the gum, please.
Hi, I'm Alex from Kenya. Thank you. EBM, keep updating us. Albert, you say approximately how long does it take you for green card to come if my partner puts in application? I do not know I don't understand your question. Are you talking what type of green card? Green card by marriage or green card by lottery?
What, Faustina? I mean, Claire.
If green card by lottery and you are married, if you submit all the documents, with the COVID it takes longer. It can take even a year, but usually it's around 6 months. Walid, you are saying, hello, I'm from Morocco living in Qatar. So do I need to send the KCC police clearance from Qatar or only from Morocco for my home country? You're supposed to send it from both Qatar and from Morocco. In any country I've lived for more than 6 months, you have to send the police clearance. How can I get a green card? Apply the lottery. The lottery is each year from the first week of October to the first week of November. The actual dates, usually they are posted. What? What do you want?
What?
Yeah.
What is it?
Okay.
Okay, then start getting going. Can I tell our people? They might not care, but got a little emotional there.
Okay.
So we're in Kentucky, and I figured you got to stop somewhere, right? And since we're super Catholic, I used to be a sister. I said, let's stop at a Catholic church, even if I'm the only one that has to get out. It's Holy Week, and it's really important for us. I know that a lot of Christians would understand Holy Week, and even Muslims and Jews would understand the special times of year. And so this is a real special time of year. And I wasn't going to go inside the church because I didn't have a mask, but the priest came out and he offered me a mask, and he said that the Lord was the Blessed Sacrament was there was adoration. I don't know if y'all understand, and it was just such a blessing. I got to pray for a little bit, and the priest gave me a blessing, and we received. It was Palm Sunday recently, and they had blessed palms already for everybody, so we were able to receive them, and we'll put them up in our house. I just got a little emotional. Sorry, I just feel very blessed that the Holy Spirit works in such wondrous ways.
Back to your seat.
And he told me, so we're on the way to Steubenville, right? And he said to me, did you know that across the river right here is the Diocese of Steubenville? And I said, but Steubenville's 4 hours away. He said, it reaches pretty far. So anyway, for those of you that understand, anyway, we're going to get on the road again. Otherwise, we'll never get there. But I just want to remind you, press the subscribe button.
Thank you.
Tell all your friends.
Please, how can I know my case number? You know, when you win the DV lottery, that is your case number. So if you apply, you have what we call the confirmation number. When you win, they will give you a number. If you're from Africa, I know your name is Mensa, Agustina Mensa, you might be from Ghana. So your number will be, if the DV 2022 winner, it will say 2022 AF, then the number. The rest of the number after AF, that is the case number.
And she won't give it to me.
Claire, give to Faustina. Give
Everybody get in their seats. I can't drive if we can't go. Come on.
Okay, and then the rest hide them.
I gave her the gum. It's right in her hand. Okay, let's go, people. We gotta head off to Steubenville. I can't believe the diocese extends that far.
At the EM, we say, what of F2 waiting for the interview, any development? I do not know so far if there is any development so far. Everything is quiet. They haven't updated like the timeline, how they are prioritizing, because it depends again country to country. Yeah. Free tourists. Hi, USCIS refunded my fees for I-61A waiver. What does it mean? It's because that fee has been removed. So if it has been removed, I think they are refunding people. There is a certain timeline. If you submitted your document from certain time and you paid, so the immigration USCIS is refunding or is returning the money. I think it was from January or from December, from December. There's a cut-off line. People will be getting the refund. Queen Esther, you were saying hello, watching you from South Korea. Thank you so much. I've been to South Korea twice.
Why were you in South Korea, babe? Why South Korea? Why not?
I was in the Navy and we were deployed to Busan. So you
spent a long time there, about a month, didn't you?
Month in Japan, and you went back and forth.
Oh, that's right. Oh, South Korea, that's right. I've eaten kimchi and umami. I mean, not that I was really I'm sorry. It wasn't very good because I'm not used. I just don't like fish.
Even though kimchi is the national food for North Korea.
Is it really?
Yes, actually.
How does our son know this? He is so smart. Is that true? What's your name? The one that's from South Korea, what's her name? Queen Esther?
Yeah.
Oh, our son says that kimchi is the national food. Well, it wouldn't surprise me.
For North Korea, not South Korea.
Oh, North Korea.
Okay. Elvia Zen, you say, my friend lost his student status since 6 months. He played the Lottery 2022. Is it possible for him to stay here with his new
I don't know.
status,
People.
permanent resident?
What is it, sweetheart?
Okay.
We don't have any donuts.
So the person is, what is the status now of the person? If you, that's why I usually tell people, if you come as a student, you come as a tourist, do whatever it takes. Never be out of status. If you are out of status and you win the DV lottery, they will deny you the DV lottery. But if you come back to the status and then you win, that will be a different situation. But they might still, it's a very, I do not know. That will depend also again who is checking your case. But if you get married, even if you are out of status, they are not going to do anything. They will process your green card and then.
Calm down. Just give me a sec.
Patrick Wilson, hi sir, I'm watching live from Dubai. Pray God will help me to win this year. Amen to that. Wadai say, wow, great family, great man, nice to see you with your family, lovely family, thank you.
There's
Christina Mongina, hey, watching you from Nairobi, thank you so much.
Jumbo from Nairobi.
Chaste, you say, how long does it take to be called in for biometric if they send you receipt in January, since January? So basically, usually it's supposed to be biometric is supposed to take not more than 4 weeks. But recently, it has been very, very slow because of the COVID. I know there are some people they waited for 8 weeks. They called for the interview. The highest I've seen was 4 months. But it's because of the COVID, it's taking slow. So I cannot say for sure how long does it take you. As you say, you send your documents, the receipt shows it was January, and now it is end of March. So that is already more than 8 weeks. If you take just February and March. So probably it will be at least this April, but I will not be surprised if it goes further. Because of the COVID, they are very, very slow so far. Yes, Benedict.
We're going to go over a bridge, everybody.
Okay. Okay, Benedict, put back to Faustina. Give back to Faustina.
Mama, yes, look, just quick.
Yes, you want to see.
Mama can't see it.
What is it?
Look.
Just not right now, sweetheart, because I really got to drive. I appreciate it.
Do you turn back to the YouTube?
No, she good. So she
Give back to the YouTube.
Is that the Ohio River?
can I please have it? Oh,
Yes. This is the bridge I was telling you. If you cross, you are in.
And now we're going to go into the the Diocese of Steubenville. That's crazy.
Okay, so we are crossing the bridge and the river.
I need to be able to see them. Sorry. Oh, Ohio. We're in Ohio.
Yeah, so if
How is it that we're in Ohio, but we were in West Virginia? That is crazy. I
it's
didn't know
called
that was...
tri-state. So you cross one bridge, you're in Ohio. Another bridge is Kentucky.
Huh.
That's what I was telling you. I was explaining to you yesterday.
So now we're in Ohio, everybody.
Yes, you're in Ohio.
But we're going to have to go back through West Virginia to get back to Ohio. Confusing.
I don't know,
I
but
don't know either.
there are 2 bridges. One bridge will take you to Ohio. Another bridge takes you to
It
West
says I
Virginia.
got to go to West Virginia to get back to Ohio.
Yeah.
How is that even?
Yeah. So this is the Ohio River, which you used to study at school. Like, okay, the one among the longest one, whatever in America. So that is the river. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So basically, I do not know how. I cannot be specific. How long does it take? For me, when I sent my documents for green card by marriage, it took 3 weeks, and I was called for the. I did my biometric within 3 weeks. But nowadays, as I said, it takes longer. The other person, there is one Tanzanian, It took him almost like 8 weeks max, I think. He got it. But it takes longer nowadays. I cannot predict how long will that take. But once you do the biometric, then the next process they are going to send you the work authorization card. Nyamwange Alex, I used my temporary passport to apply for the green card last year. There is no problem with that one. That's good. But if you win, you have also to apply to get the passport book. And once you KCC they ask you for documentation, you will submit both the passport you used to apply, which is a temporary passport, and the newer passport.
Sorry, he's just checking for my charge.
Now it's done.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Kwadwo Obi Kobi, you say we appreciate your wife so much for being supportive woman. May God bless her and you all.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Like I said, like and subscribe and tell your friends. Gotta get that.
Life. What do
We
you
have
want?
a plaque. Woohoo!
Harry Salamba say hi mzee, hi IBM mkuu, nice watching you once again. Sisi kwetu vacation imeungua just like 2020. I think we should just forget about the 2021 interviews. Things aren't getting any better. Don't worry, things will be okay.
Keep up your hope. We know people.
Nairobi is under lockdown until further notice. Yes, I read I watched the President Uhuru Kenyatta's press conference. So I don't think there is any hope for the embassy opening up for the interview soon. I have to follow. I know I've read the lockdown of President Kenyatta, but I haven't read the official embassy status. Like after that one, what will be the situation? That's what I've been telling people. Even if they say the U.S. government saying we are prioritizing the visas, but it also comes down to the individual country. How do they deal with the COVID and the restrictions they give? So if they restrict people to move everywhere, they cannot operate at the embassy. Gibbs, you say very informative. I love the channel from Kenya. I wanted to know, supported you. You are married with the 2 kids, but no marriage certificate. How does that go? So these are the 2 things, few things you need to know. If you have applied the DV lottery and you have won or whatever, just go to the government. Even in Kenya, they have registrar for the live people in their born, birth certificate, death certificate, and the marriage. Go and get the certificate. They will give you the certificate despite you, because it depends on the regulation of the country. But if you get married traditional, they will give the certificate to reflect when you have been married traditional with someone. But you will never be given the US visa as green card holder for traditional marriage. You must come with the actual legal document from the government.
Because explain that even here in the United States, if you get married in a church, you still have to apply for a marriage license.
Yes, the church certificate means nothing. It helps you to have just another documentation, but for the purpose of the government, you must have the government marriage certificate.
Which you have to pay for.
Yeah. Mohammed, you were saying, is the passport must be when you apply for the green card lottery? Yes. The only way you can apply without a passport is 3 reasons only. If you don't have these 3 reasons, don't apply. 1, you must be a stateless person.
You mean like?
Not all Fijians are from stateless.
So what is a stateless person?
There are some few people. I think there are some few people from Myanmar, Miramar, whatever. There are some people over there in that particular country, depending on where they are born, they are not belonging to any country in this world.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Or there is one guy, he's a soccer player, now he's a French citizen, was born when he's from Angola or somewhere, when they are in the boat in the middle of the ocean, international water. That was when he was born. Okay, so the person was stateless.
So it's very difficult to be stateless. Okay.
There are very few people. There are some people in Palestine, they are stateless. Not all, but there are some people.
Is it because Palestine is not considered?
Yes, but there is a state where you are born, you can be stateless. It's a very confusing. But being a refugee doesn't mean you are stateless.
So
you are a citizen of Burundi, and and you are a refugee in South Africa, you were born in Burundi, you were citizen of Burundi.
I wanted that to be clarified.
Yes, so you must be a stateless, or you must be coming from a communist-controlled country. And I believe your country is not a communist-controlled country.
What are examples besides
Like Cuba.
But China doesn't count?
China's count, but China doesn't apply for green card lottery.
Okay.
So
North Korea?
North Korea can apply. It's not considered as official.
Would they allow you to
No,
apply though?
North Korea's dictatorship is not communist. There is a difference.
So what's communist right now? Cuba?
Cuba is communist country.
What about Libya? Or is that
Libya is
dictatorship?
not. There's so
Dictatorship.
someone in Russia can claim to apply the lottery without this one.
But
It's still officially still a communist.
wait a minute, I thought they were Democratic Republic of whatever.
Even communists, they call them democratic.
So they're still communist?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Did you know that?
Forgive me. I'm sorry.
It's Putin.
You have to understand that just because I'm from the United States doesn't mean a darn thing. We don't give very. I mean, I loved all my teachers, so don't blame it on my teachers, okay? It's all my fault.
Yeah.
But
So. Is the American lottery include job? No. The lottery is giving you the opportunity to come here and be a permanent resident.
tell them they don't get anything. There's
So
no money, there's no housing, there's no nothing.
that's what I want to. The green card is bigger than the job you're getting. Once you get the green card, once you come here, you are allowed to find a job is on your own. They don't give you a job. There is a place you can go and find a job. Like
It's not
the job
promised.
center. You just go and apply. There are what, Claire?
And-
What? We are going to another hotel now. Okay? It's a new hotel.
And my
It's a beautiful one, better than the other one.
Yeah.
It has even a bathtub.
and a pool.
This one, the new hotel, it has a bathtub. I brought the toys.
Oh, for the bathtub. Oh,
You can use the one for you can use the which toys? The one for the yes, the one
There's plenty.
we have the plastic one, the one you use it for Play-Doh.
Yes.
The
And we have
plastic one.
plastic cups and plastic spoons and
And you have the straw.
a straw you can blow. Anyway,
Yeah, so
what I want to say real quick is tell them about how just because you have a master's degree or you might be a doctor or all these wonderful things,
yes.
when you come here, it's going to be really difficult. So you just take a job washing dishes. Just get yourself established. Just
Yes.
humble yourself.
I cleaned the toilets, and it's not a bad thing. People here, even American, the white people, they are doing the same thing. So come here from Africa, do you think that you are smarter than these people? You are better than these people? You are
There
going to
are
die
people-
hungry.
We have plenty of people that are working in fast food, McDonald's, whatever. Just make some money. Don't let it shame you. Just get money so that you can do better. But you just keep, you have to believe in yourself. If you have a degree, you have a degree.
Yeah.
But
But if you have degree and you don't have money, it means nothing.
exactly.
What you
So
need,
just
you need
make sure you get a job.
cash,
Don't
cash,
worry.
cash.
Yeah. Don't worry about where you're working. Get that job. Start. That's important.
Adam. Hi, this is Adam from Sudan. Right now, there is many lawsuits from lawyer inside the US. Please advise if I shall join or not. Basically, it depends on what is your status, because there are certain lawsuits they don't matter to you or don't apply to you, because there is still a lawsuit about the DV 2020. There is a DV 2021 to make sure that they are going to extend. Remember, once you join, you have to pay a certain amount of money. So it's up to you. I cannot say don't or you do what is right for you. But if you want, you can join and you can just pay. That means people who are in the lawsuit, after the lawsuit, they will be the one given higher priority for their visa to be processed. So that is the advantage of it. If you want to join, there is incentive in that. Maureen Sibanda. Hi, sir. Do you think the DV 2022 results will be delayed? No. The results will be is scheduled on May 8th this year. Yeah, and the 2022 will be a smooth one, because from there the interview start in October 1st, just like in normal way, without any problem. Shafi, thank you, sir, for having job. So having a job or having 2 years of job experience, it is important for winning the interview. Yes, for the DV lottery winner, if you have your education is less than high school, the work experience is a must. But if you have maybe a degree or high school, the work experience is not important, it's not a must, but it's important to have. Okay, Abdurrahman Ashim, I applied for the DV 2020 without a passport. Is it possible to win a visa at the consulate? No. You will be able to win the DV lottery. Yes, I agree. I know there's one guy in Ethiopia, I know, won the DV lottery without a passport. Because when they play. You said you have the waiver. As I was talking a few minutes ago, you must have 3 reasons. We are going for Faustina. Go. So you must have one of the 3 reasons to apply without a passport. Stateless, coming from the communist-controlled country, or to have a waiver letter from the Secretary of State of the United States of America or the Secretary of Homeland Security of the United States of America. If you don't have those, you say waiver, you can apply with exemption, but at the U.S. Embassy, they want you to submit the status.
Faustina.
What Faustina
okay.
want?
It's okay.
What? Claire amefanyaje? What are you eating, Faustina? Claire. Oh, it's the gum thing. So, in my opinion, will be this way. At the U.S. Embassy will deny you the visa because you don't have the visa passport to show that you use the actual passport. That's why I emphasize people, just use the temporary passport. Go and apply for the temporary passport. Don't apply. I don't know which country you are from, but if let's say you are from Kenya, Kenya is not a communist-controlled country. And if you're born in Kenya, you are not a stateless person, and you don't have a letter from the U.S. Secretary of State to prove that you have the waiver. So they will deny you the visa. That's what I know. Saidu Kamara, EBM, I want you to find me a relationship in the state. This is my phone number. There are websites you're going to find, but not me to. You know, the difference about culture is this one. In Africa, it is easier to connect one person and another person. Here it's difficult because, and especially connecting someone from another person in another continent,
Yeah.
that is a completely difficult.
I don't think I would ever have trusted somebody that way.
You see, that is the, yeah.
Yeah.
It is easier when you are in Africa. Even here, they don't connect like how we connect Africa. Okay, that guy is single, go and get married to whatever, those kind of things.
No.
Here, you can go to the party together and go just like birthday party and someone they know, they start talking on their
Welcome
own.
back to West Virginia, everybody.
So that is the Ohio River.
Again.
Yeah. So the other bridge is there. Back to Huntington.
Yep.
Yep. So this is the city where I was, where I started in my life. The Huntington, West Virginia. Yeah, so
It's almost 15 cents more a gallon here over the bridge. And then gas over there.
Walid, you say, thank you so much for the answer. I can rename the police clearance from both countries. Yes. You have to get...
Nini.
Okay. Abnasir, you say, I have applied for the 50th time as an experienced person. What are your thoughts? First of all, to apply for the DV lottery, it doesn't matter what experience you have, how many years you have experience,
It's
what
a lottery.
degree is a lottery. It's pure lottery. You can be in primary school and get it. Your experience will matter on the interview, not on the selection.
Really, honestly, I mean, there is no way to cheat this lottery.
Yeah.
It's just a computer picking numbers. And
The numbers is just the numbers when they give you the confirmation number. It's just a confirmation number. They do not know whether you are a male or a female. They do not know that.
They don't know anything
It's
about
just
you.
the confirmation numbers, and the confirmation numbers are given like they'll treat you as all from Africa, all from this whatever. And those are the things, but it's not like about okay, this person has PhD, this person has this number of experience. First of all, in the lottery, there's no any way you can put the work experience. What I like about you is the fact that you have been able to apply this the fifth time or fifth year you are applying for the DV lottery. Keep applying the lottery. It's free of charge. You have nothing to lose. I know the person who won on the 9th time. I know there are some people who won their first time. I know there's some people they won the 3rd time. But you cannot quit to stop applying just because you don't win. It's free of charge. Maybe what if this the 5th time you have applied, the DV 2022 is your time to win. It's all under God's control.
Amen.
Yeah. Joseph, please, I would like to find out if the mail requesting for the supporting documents is sent to only the principal applicant, or the dependents also receive theirs. No, the email is sent to the principal applicant. The principal applicant, the winner, is the one attaching the documents of also the dependents, because they say send the marriage certificate. They say send the birth certificate, send the passport, send the police clearance. If you are married, send the marriage certificate, and also the birth certificate of your spouse, the police clearance of your spouse, the passport of your spouse. If you have children, birth certificate of your children, the passport of your children. And if the children are above the age of 18, above the age of 16, they also need the police clearance report. But the email is sent to the principal. The cases that they do not deal with the dependents.
Okay.
Dependents are just, they are going to benefit just by the way. On my birth certificate, my mother and father names were misspelled. Does this it affect me at KCC? Not very much, but usually tell people, no matter one mistake, KCC will not do anything. The issue will be at the embassy when you go to the US embassy. So go to the lawyer. Ask a lawyer to write affidavit to say that there is a misspelling of the names of your parents. Just don't be denied the visa just for the small mistakes. And get that one from the lawyer, it doesn't cost more than $15, $20. And especially in developing countries, that will be a small amount. But just have a document from the lawyer that these names are misspelled, the correct spelling are this one.
What's the KCC?
Kentucky Consular Center.
Kentucky?
Yeah.
Oh, here.
In Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
So I'm so confused.
Kentucky is the government, there is government office which is processing the green card is in Kentucky.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So as I mentioned, this is the state we have been in Kentucky where
Sorry,
KCC,
that's why I was so.
where the green card is processed is in Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
All green card?
All green card in Ottawa.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Look at all that I'm learning. Just show this
So
live.
God bless you and your family from Amadou Ba.
Oh, you gotta show them there's an Amazon
So
center.
okay, so usually we talk about jobs, and you have been talking about Amazon. So this is the warehouse we usually tell you about Amazon. So that is one of the warehouse, for instance, that building, big buildings. So if you work there, your job might be just put the packages in the boxes, things of that
It's a
nature.
lot of work, but we know somebody
But
that does it.
you get paid minimum $15. That is the minimum job for
Which
Amazon.
is, and tell them what minimum wage is.
For each state is different, but it can be $8, $10.
$6.50 is one state, right? I'm sure.
Unless it will be like 7 now, I think. I don't think there is a 6. When I was in West Virginia, it was $6.50. Yeah. And, yeah. Freddie Onchuru, I applied for the Division 21, waiting. You applied for Division 22, basically. Yeah. I'm waiting for the results and hope you'll be winning. Hanbei, you say, question for your wife. Okay.
That's not a question.
What if one getting pregnant and have kid while husband is in the process of marriage, green card? Can her husband come for a visit? How to raise kids in America. So I'll ask you to answer one part because the other part is more about
Yes,
immigration.
exactly.
Okay, let me answer and say.
But thank you for the question.
Yeah.
Thank you for the
So
question.
answer the part about ask how to raise kids in America.
Okay, it's very different.
You are raising 3 kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to remember that you're coming to a different culture and different laws. And you want to keep your culture, but you have to follow the laws. I think absolutely keep your culture. Do not let anybody tell you not to keep your culture. I know so many people that say, oh, you can only speak English and don't do anything like we did back there. No, it's so important. Teach your children their language that you have. Teach them, Ernest tries to teach them Swahili. Absolutely. And we have friends that are from Africa. We get them involved and we tell them things, and it's really important. I mean, I still have my culture and everything, and I teach them, but I think that's important. But there are laws. So let me give you an example. Very many Africans are still, we call it spanking their kids. In Africa, they say beating, okay? You can't go around beating kids here. You can spank them, but you can't leave a mark. So usually on, just a second.
Faustina.
No, she's fine now.
Okay.
What do you need? What do you need?
Okay, continue, Marie.
Okay, so here, so they can't see me, but I'll talk. But children that have darker skin, obviously you're not going to see a mark. It would take a lot to see a mark, but the point is, if you leave a mark, if it, or any of that, you can get in a lot of trouble. Now, whereas in Africa, nobody's going to say anything. You know, you can't lock your kid in their room and then never let them out. People will find out. Also, you can't let your children run wild, not only for safety's sake, but somebody will see your children running around and you're not with them, and they will call the officials, and I mean, you're getting your children taken away. You need to be with your children. You want to turn that up? Are you cold?
Oh, I mean, that's why one is hot.
Okay, it's hot?
Yeah, it's
get over. Hold on a second. So, I mean, absolutely discipline your children the way that you want, but just know that you need to just read the laws first. Find out, what is it before you get into any trouble. So, yes, we spank our children. No, we do not beat them. But there are other ways of disciplining. But let me tell you this. Our job as parents is ultimately, now, whether you believe in heaven, but to get them to heaven, okay? So, we want them to succeed in life, whatever that success is to you, but that means staying out of jail, staying out of prison, staying off drugs, not getting into trouble, going to get educated, all of those things, okay? So, it's very important. And if you're not disciplining your children, if you're just letting them tell you what they're going to do, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. You cannot say, well, it's the Western way. No, the Western way is not that.
You don't want that?
Let me tell you, do not let your children walk all over you. Love them. Absolutely. Give them every bit of love that you can. And we do. We love our children. But we also know that we're parents. Parents have a job. And as I'm sure everybody knows, when you're growing up, you don't like what your parents do. That's normal. So, but anyway, raising children here, they must go to first grade. But we have public schools, and they're free. They're free because you pay taxes. Okay, and
do they wear a uniform?
There are some schools that do wear uniforms, but they're usually in the inner cities, very inner cities. Okay, but so there's no uniforms and there's no hair cutting and all of that. Here, you just have to be kept. It needs to be kept nicely, but there's no. I mean, you can't wear certain clothes because it might be a color of a gang or it might be offensive to somebody. Okay,
yeah.
But other than that, appropriate clothing, respectful. Anyway, but kindergarten is available, and kindergarten is year before first grade. I think every public school in America has kindergarten. There are also opportunities for people that want their children to get ahead in if you don't want to just do it on your own, there's plenty of preschools that you could pay for. If you qualify, you could, because if you're low income, don't feel like you shouldn't take advantage of these opportunities. Who cares? Take advantage. There's things like Head Start. Head Start, you look it up, HEAD space START, Head Start. Get your children in there. And if you qualify as a low income, and they will start their education early. Or take them to libraries. We have public libraries. They are free. Public libraries are the best thing ever. I grew up always going, my mother always took me to the library. They have story time where somebody from the library is paid to read to your children. And their books, you just need to prove that with an ID that you are who you say you are, and you can borrow books as long as you don't ruin them and you return them on the date that's specified. And there's children's books, there's adult books, there's teen books, there's everything. It's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. So, and then of course, there's a lot of opportunities to just find communities, and that's why you need to not just keep yourself stuck in your house. Now, I understand about COVID and people getting scared and all of this, but don't be afraid to say hi. I'm new here. If you see somebody in the grocery store, they might think it's kind of odd, but typically Americans would like to help you. But if you go to a church, a mosque, a temple, something like that, say to somebody there, hi, I'm new. Can you help me so that I can, I'm alone and I have nobody, we're new here. Maybe your husband and you, or just you, and if you have children, say I have children and we don't know, tell them the truth. Share. Say, I would really like our children to be involved, but we just don't know how to do it. The honesty is the best thing. Just say, be honest. Do not be afraid to say, I feel so lonely. That's why, yes, community here is very different in the United States versus in Africa or other places where everybody is with you can't just show up on someone's doorstep. Here in America, you just really, you can. Obviously you can do whatever you want like that, but people in America would appreciate if you let them know ahead of time that you're going to come over. Usually in America, people don't like to have other people in their houses if it's dirty. And let me tell you, most people's houses are not always clean. And it's shameful for them if you come into their house and it's dirty. Okay? And so we want to present our home the best way we can for you.
We don't have maid here.
Yeah, no. A maid is very expensive here. Okay? So people will, we do our best. We got kids, so we just say, I'm sorry, welcome to our home, Karimu. But so let people know ahead of time if you're going to visit and things like that. Oh, I'm sorry, we have a Jesus, please bless the souls and amen. Okay, so there was a cemetery. Anyway, another nice thing to do, which if you're going to visit someone, just bring something little. It doesn't matter. You could bring anything you want. Just a little gift to say, thank you. Nobody cares about what it is or the money or the whatever. Just a little something. It's just a kindness. Anything.
And can you talk about, we're talking about raising children,
so
about when Christmas time or Thanksgiving, there are free food in certain places,
yes,
or clothing, all those kind of things.
So again,
how, especially we're brand new, we don't have much of the resources.
Okay,
Even we don't have enough cup, yeah.
What I'd like to do is mention about holidays here. Okay, so holidays here are very different than in other countries. We are a Christian country on paper, but it's very secular, and so it'll depend on who you know and your community, if your faith community. Okay, if you have no faith, and then you need to find some other type of community. And community is there. I mean, everybody's something. You know, they're nothing. I mean, they could be no faith and they still have a community. So, or if you don't, you know, but I know people from Africa tend to have some type of deep faith, whatever it is, or at least that, you know, I am this, you know, even if they don't practice a lot. Okay. So here in the United States, we have secular holidays and we have religious holidays, and we don't really celebrate. We're just not there yet to celebrate Muslim holidays. It doesn't mean that you can't, and we have mosques everywhere, but it's just not a public holiday yet. And even the Jewish holidays aren't public because we're a Christian nation on paper. So there are a few holidays that are typically Christian that are public. We have, but that doesn't always mean things like you think it is. So basically, everything's open every day. There's nothing closed. Now, there are places that choose to be closed. A restaurant might choose to be closed on Mondays and Tuesdays, or a barbershop might choose to be closed, or something's closed on a Sunday because they choose to be. But for the most part, there's no closing things. So Christmas Day is huge here. Even if you're Jewish, there are people, unfortunately, they just choose to celebrate Christmas, or, you know, because it can be a secular thing. Unfortunately, people have separated it from the Christian aspect, and so there are people that celebrate Christmas that have no faith in Jesus Christ whatsoever. And so it's huge here. And you might be shocked that it's very commercial, very capitalistic. There are people that you'll see stores starting to put Christmas decorations out in August or September, and it can be shocking for people. And people like to decorate here. It's a big thing. So not only do they decorate in their homes, they decorate outside. Now, here's the thing. You don't have to do that if you're not, you know, and also if you don't have a lot of money, there are plenty of places that would be happy to give you things if you reach out. You know,
there is no shame.
There is absolutely no shame. None. It's different. It's very, very different here. If you want to feel shame, then you feel it. But it's fine. People here are there's a lot of what we call nonprofit groups that are happy to give. And other people will give to those nonprofit groups because we want other people to be able to participate in these holidays or especially with COVID, there's so many groups that are giving away food. And I mean, it's fantastic to see it. Anyway, so let me give the example of Christmas. So here in the United States, Christmas is usually celebrated this way. It's celebrated all the way up until the day of Christmas, and then it stops. Now, as Catholics, our Christmas only starts on Christmas Day. There are other Catholics, they don't do this, but for us, we start Christmas on Christmas Day, and then we go until Epiphany and the baptism. So, I mean, but Christmas music in stores and on the radio will stop after Christmas Day is over. That's it. It's over. So that might be a shock to you as well.
There is no Bonnie M when the Jim.
There's no Bonnie M or Jim. I mean, you can find it on
but
YouTube.
It's not
no, there's a lot of other people that like very typical Christmas music. Especially Bing Crosby. That's classic. He's older and he's very Christmas-like. But there's other things. Anyway, but yeah, that's another thing. Keep your culture.
Then talk about.
But I was going to tell about the presents real quick. So presents are a big thing for especially children on Christmas. We have a Christmas tree, and they sell live trees and they sell fake trees and whatever, and then we decorate them. All you have to do is look online with these things. It's all there. They show you. Just type in typical American Christmas. You'll see. Anyway,
okay,
we don't go overboard.
Okay, talk about
And there's
the culture of people when you are invited to someone's celebration and the food is left over. You are
so that's a good example would be Thanksgiving. Okay, here in the United States we celebrate Thanksgiving on the fourth Thursday of November. It's always the fourth Thursday of November, and it is a public holiday. That doesn't mean that people get their jobs off. It's just it's a public holiday. So banks are closed, things like that. So it's big. They have all this food and everything else, and when it's left over, You mean?
Yeah, like
what do you-
someone like
So they
in,
might.
in Tanzania is kind of like a shame to get food to go with it at home.
No, here. No. We take food home. If someone says, "Oh, please take this food,"
It's
Trust
not
me.
that you are poor. That's why
No,
you take the food.
everybody loves to share. They just do. And even here in restaurants, you don't leave your food on your plate. If you want to take it home and eat it there, you just say, "Could I please have a container to put my food in?" And you take it home and you heat it up at home. And there's no. This is just very, very. They call it a doggy bag or a takeout, whatever. There's no shame in that. Almost everybody does it. I mean, Americans don't like to waste that way. They love to take home stuff, and definitely, usually the mothers in the families will say, "Oh, but you want to take some of this. You want to have some of that." So I didn't realize. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh yes, everybody's always trying to give you food to take somewhere. And you might, if you're invited somewhere, say, "Could I bring something?" If it's if you know you're going to be eating, say, "Could I bring something?" Or make sure you tell people. Don't be afraid to say, in a nice way. Careful how you say it, but especially if you're new here and you haven't eaten American food, let the people know that, because you might end up like Ernest. He doesn't like a lot of American food, and people will cook up, or have pizza or macaroni and cheese or something, and Ernest doesn't eat that. Excuse me.
There is a question.
Yes, question.
From Captain Chichi.
Hello.
He's a permanent member of EBM, Captain Chichi. So he said, in Kansas, do you have Swahili or East African restaurants? If I were to come, I would really like Miss Chapati and all that.
Yes. Okay, so honestly, that's more of a question for Ernest. But
there is over in the there is Kenyan restaurant.
There is a Kenyan restaurant.
I've never been to that one.
But
there's an Ethiopian restaurant.
There's an Ethiopian restaurant. There are a few, and but
there are stores.
There's Kenyan stores, but there's also some halal stores, and
also there's
Asian stores.
Yes, there is that big. It's called the World Market, whatever.
World Market.
Yeah, it has also African.
Oh, okay.
But if you go to the Asian stores, they have a lot of African. Like if you fish, they have a real fish, kind of that.
Yeah.
Chapati
would be harder to find. Where we find it, Indian stores, but it's not going to be like what you're used to. But there's a store. There's two stores in the Kansas City area. They're about 10 or 15 minutes apart. It's called Trader, Trader, Joe's, Joe, apostrophe S, Trader Joe's. They have some things that are like chapati in their freezer section. But it's hit or miss. Sorry, that might be. I don't know, how do you say hit or miss.
You might find it some days you might not find it.
Exactly. Yeah. So my honest thing, yes, there's things here, but my honest thing is either you know how to cook, watch Ernest's videos, or make friends. Make African friends. There's a community here of Kenyans and Tanzanians and other Africans, and if you make friends, then you'll never be without some African food. Also, raising kids at school, they celebrate some holidays too, like Halloween is here. You don't have to. It's more fun than anything having to do with the devil or anything. So you don't have to worry about that. Kids like to dress up in different superheroes or cartoon characters or whatever, and then they go around to each house and they go trick or treat, and then knock on the door and they get candy. And you pass out candy. Now with COVID, it's been a little different. So this is one time of the year that you can go to somebody's house in the United States and ask for something. You have nothing to give; they give you. It's kind of funny. But and kids look forward to this all year. They really do. We have 4th of July, which is huge. That's our Independence Day. Really, really big. People like to eat outside if possible because it's during the summer. It's July 4th, and they barbecue or whatever. They do all kinds of things, and then usually it's America's very patriotic. I know that was something that was very surprising for people from Tanzania, that we have flags everywhere, and we have the flag on everything. Americans tend to, no matter what political party they identify with, be very patriotic, extremely patriotic. People will have flags in their yards. They have flags on their cars. They have flags in their homes. They have flags on T-shirts. I mean, it's everywhere. So just so you're not, it's not a bad thing. It's just people tend to be very patriotic. But they definitely, politics is something that's not talked about without a very big argument. It's not like I know in Tanzania.
Oh, speaking of politics.
And religion too. People don't tend to talk about that stuff like they talk about it in Tanzania that I know. You can talk about it, but people are very set in their ways. Very set in their ways.
That is one of the things usually tell people once you come here.
Don't just start up.
Don't start talking about politics, about religion stories. If you're in the bus, talk about weather.
You talk about the weather.
Sport.
Yeah.
American football, whatever.
Don't talk about politics and religion. Those are really taboo. Only when you know someone really well. Really well. It's just that's a big culture thing. Cussing, using inflammatory language, you might hear it, but
you have to be coming from the hood, from the
and not only that, but just be very careful. If you use language like that, be extremely careful, because people do not, in businesses and things like that, and in families.
It's not in the movie.
It's no. Really, honestly, it's not. Yeah, and don't be afraid to ask if you don't understand what someone's saying. If they are using words that might translate but don't make sense, because we, like I said, with hit or miss, it's a saying that we have, but for example, like what is it? A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. That does not going to translate very well. So there are things like that. Just say, well, what does that mean? Or if you didn't understand a person, I have bad hearing. I say that to people all the time, and they're speaking English. And Ernest and I still don't communicate all the time well, so it's okay. It's hard sometimes to be humble and admit that, we're not as perfect as we'd like to be, or like others to see us as, but it's, and I would always say, be who you are. Don't try to be someone you're not. People want to see the real you. I mean, God made you, and, maybe this is an opportunity to be who you really are if you come here.
And another thing I usually tell people is, when you come to America, or you go to any country outside your country, whether in whatever country you are, you are ambassador of that particular country.
Oh, absolutely.
So anything you do, it will reflect the entire country.
Because they're going to say, I met somebody from, for example, Ernest, okay, I met somebody from Tanzania. That's how everybody, it's unfortunate, but that's how everybody in Tanzania must be. Because if you think about it this way, if you met an American, and was the only American you met, and they were really nice and everything, you say, all American, they must all be like that. But what if they're mean and unkind? And you're like, all Americans are mean and grumpy, and
That's not true.
And it's not, see, even Benedict, that's not true.
It's not true for either side.
It doesn't matter. Everybody's different. It doesn't matter where you live.
Yeah.
So, yes. What else? Okay, so bringing kids up in the United States.
Captain, she said, hey, thank you, EBA, for recognizing me as a truly permanent member.
Oh!
Yeah.
If you want some clarification on a specific thing about bringing up children in the United States, but like I said, we have public libraries. Oh, parks! We have public parks. Public parks are free here. You don't have to pay to go. Uh-oh.
Okay. I want to make you a comment.
Okay, Ernest is making a comment.
No, it will be difficult to do. Okay.
Sorry.
Just one sec.
Hold on.
I want to do something quick. Just continue driving.
Continue driving.
I don't know if I want to do something. Okay, I want to do something quick. Okay. I wanted to do something. Okay. Okay, so sorry everyone.
Sorry. Okay, so
Okay, so before I continue,
okay.
you have seen down here I put a comment, the link. That is the link of Marie has started a YouTube channel,
Oh, thanks,
but
hon.
she's going to start posting so many things.
There's nothing really there
Nothing
yet.
at the moment. So I would like to ask you to go and subscribe to that link. That is
I
Marie's
need 100
YouTube channel.
people so I can what is it?
To rename your channel.
To rename my channel.
So right now there are 41 people here live. Can all these 41 people go and subscribe to her channel?
Please.
She'll be talking so many things, but she'll be talking about just life in America in general, family, about things related to. You can ask, like, I'm giving you an example, even you like how to do saving when you are going to purchase things like food, which stores are better, how to use coupon, what time of the year you need to go to buy clothing for your kids, like driving lessons, or if you want to purchase a vehicle, just overall basic information for you to be able to start. So anything you can be asking, she can be able to talk certain things to break down to you, things which I usually don't do on my channel. So I ask you please to go and subscribe to that particular channel.
Faustina, do you want some applesauce? No. Okay. Anyway, public parks. Can I tell them about public parks?
Yes.
Because I hear that there are places that parks aren't free. I had no idea. Here in the United States, sorry,
Faustina,
our tax dollars provide for parks to be free, and they have. She's throwing things. Claire, don't do that, please.
Claire, please stop.
She'll get upset.
she's going to be mad.
So our tax dollars, that's part of it, and it actually goes there. It doesn't get taken somewhere else. We have so many checks and balances. You can't embezzle that much money or keep it for yourself in the government like other places. So you these parks. Yeah, we're going to the new hotel. And it's gonna be a few hours. Just calm down.
Yes,
What do you
Faustina.
need, Faustina? Oh, tissue.
So parks, they have places for the children to play at, and there's things to climb on and have fun and things like that. We have public pools. I'm not a big fan of public pools because there's so much bacteria and you never know and all that other
Put
stuff.
a hot dog in the water.
Okay, enough. But anyway, it's there. So, but pools in general, you could probably find a friend who has a pool, or you could buy one of these tiny little plastic. Anyway, so and then there's places that sometimes either have a free day or have a discounted day, or you can find a coupon or whatever for a museum or a children's place to play, like different things that you have to pay for, but there are things like that. So there are a lot of things here in the United States. I don't know about other places. I just know what's here. And there are a lot of things to do for children if you look. And even now with COVID, you can still do things at home that, a lot of things online now. I'm really surprised. There's all these things online for like Zoom. You could even access them now if you wanted. It's on YouTube. If you have a VPN, you probably can get it if you can't get it without a VPN. But anyway, like tours of museums, and it's YouTube, so it's free. You get a tour of a zoo.
Yes, Faustina.
The children always like the zoos because they don't get to see animals.
You want to wear that?
No. And even there's even one thing that I like is there's this, I don't know how to say it right. It's Juma Private Game Reserve, and they have a camera there. I think it's in Botswana, yes. And there's a camera that's always on, and there are some people that they are allowed, they're volunteers, and they move the camera so you can see the animals. I mean, that's, I love to just go on and see this, because the elephants come, and then the birds, and what are the giraffes and the lions. But there's a lot of ways for people to enjoy, even if they're in the house. But so.
Let me quickly answer a few questions.
Thank you, Marie. You're welcome. Thanks for letting me talk.
Okay, there is a question from Hexanod. Please tell me about health insurance. We are a family of 5.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, so the easy way when you come here, especially to Green Card winner, you cannot go and get this premium health insurance. It will be very complicated.
But you don't want to.
But you must, first of all, it's a law, you must have insurance. When you go for the tax season, you must have insurance.
You can get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. So the easy
Plus,
way.
you don't want to be without health insurance.
Yeah, the easy way usually will be this way. Let's say you get a job. The job, almost every company has to pay a certain amount for you for your health insurance. And then you contribute in addition to that. So it depends what type of coverage you want and how high you want to go. So you can go starting from each paycheck, maybe $100. I'm giving example.
Because can you explain that medical care is very expensive here?
Yes, it is.
You
very,
can't just spend $50 to go see a doctor. It doesn't work that way.
No. So you don't come with what until I'm getting sick, because when you get sick, you pay a bill of $1,200 maybe. That's just
It's called preventative care, and
Yeah.
you really do want to take care of yourself. And even in other countries they don't deal with dentists and teeth. Here, it's
But the dental is insurance wise is cheaper.
yes,
for dental because
right.
you
But
pay
what I'm
more
saying is
when you get
right.
sick.
But what I'm saying is it's really important to take care of your teeth here in the United States, and the reason is because the water's different, and there's additives in food that you don't have in your countries, and you're just going to eat it. You can't get away from it. So just accept that this is the way it is, and if you want to lose your teeth, you're going to lose your teeth. I mean, there are plenty of people that don't take care of their teeth, but I highly recommend taking care of your teeth. And that's usually we get a teeth cleaning every 6 months, and it might be odd to you because I know Ernest does not like to do it, but it's really important. Really important. And even just getting your checkup once a year at your doctor, they call it a primary care physician or an internist. And if you don't like the first doctor you see, go to a different doctor. But you have to get that in. Tell them about how you have to be established in order to get appointments.
Yeah, you have to go to take like the initial appointment so that they can check you or you with your family so that you can have the file into the system.
Right, because if you're really sick and you need a doctor, it's harder to get in to see a doctor unless you've already established. If you're in the system, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, so
and you don't want to just go to the hospital. There's a doctor's offices versus a hospital. They're two different things. Very, very different. To go to the hospital, we have what's called an emergency room. It could be a couple $100. So you don't just go there because your nose is running or you've got a cough. That's to go to an emergency room, it has to be a really, really big thing. You're afraid you have a heart attack or you have a seizure or whatever. You don't just walk yourself into an emergency room. It's very expensive. But if you need it, you need it. And they will take you whether you can pay or not, because that's the way it is. But you will need to pay at some point. But don't be afraid. If you can't pay, still get the health care. Do what you need to do. You don't want to die just because you're afraid that you can't pay. Someone will help you.
So the minimum you can start with is the basic insurance, just to pay, and your employer to contribute on top of that would be at least $100. I can simply say for the family.
But then there might be a copay when you go there.
Yes, but just to have the insurance first.
Right. You wanted me to explain about how if somebody doesn't have a lot of money but they need things.
Yes.
You want me to say about that?
Yes.
Okay, so there are a lot of nonprofit organizations and also sometimes government organizations that are around that say you don't have enough money for diapers and wipes. We're talking about disposable wipes, disposable diapers. There are places that will give those to you for free, and sometimes they need you to show that you have bills that you can't pay, or sometimes they'll say it doesn't matter, or you might have to be a resident of one city or county, or they don't care. There are other places that will give you food. Now, you might not like the food, and it's usually, shelf stable. That means it's not going to go bad. It's in a can or a bag. It's not fresh, but they will give you vegetables and fruits, those things that are fresh too. Sometimes they'll give you things that are frozen, and we use a freezer all the time here in the United States to freeze things. But there is no shame in buying things on sale or buying with a coupon or looking for something or there's nothing like that. It's a capitalist society. You got to do what you got to do. So so diapers, wipes, sometimes I know at Christmas time when you want to buy your children gifts, there's no reason to be lavish unless you absolutely feel a need, but you will see that your children see other people at school or whatever, and they say, I got this for Christmas, I got this for Christmas, I got this for Christmas. And you don't want your child to be like, oh, I didn't get anything for Christmas because I'm from Tanzania, where we only get a new pair of shoes and clothes. Because that's your culture, and that's okay. But here, right, which is fine. But here it's different. Children get toys, and they get books, and so that's fine. So if you can't afford that, there's nothing wrong with that. Just reach out to your community, your faith community, or other places. You'll see signs, look around, ask around, and there are places that have opportunities for you to get gifts for your children free of cost. This is very much a typical thing in the United States. And say you don't have money for your Christmas dinner, sometimes they'll provide you a Christmas dinner. It might not be your cultural food, but maybe you can use it to make your food or something like that. So let's see. I talked about diapers and wipes and even baby food. If you don't, here we eat baby food. The children eat baby food out of cans, or not cans, but glass containers or little pouches. If you can't afford that, there's something called WIC, Women, Infant, Children, and if you're low income, you can be in this program, and they will give you vouchers to buy things for yourself and for your children. Say you're pregnant, you can things like that. And there's also, I don't know would you say if you're in a green card to use Medicaid? I don't know.
Now, yes, there was a problem with what they call the public charge, but now it's no longer, so you can get
So
it.
if you're low income, there's Medicaid, especially for pregnant women, that they will provide you medical care for free of charge, or depending on sliding scale, but just ask. It really never hurts to ask. I mean, what could you hear? No? You could hear yes. So what other things would somebody be looking for? Rides. Maybe you need a ride to your work because you don't have a car yet, and there's the public transportation where you live is not really available. So, see if someone will help you out. That's why it's nice to have a community of people, so that you know that somebody can help you. Because there's not a lot of cities that have great public transportation, and then those cities are usually very expensive to live in. Like New York has great public transportation, but it's extremely expensive to live in New York City. So, there's things. I mean, it's not just New York, Chicago, and whatever. There's other places, and there's not always a bus. There's not and things like that. So, I highly encourage people to try to have some type of community. Anything else?
No. So we're about to finish because Faustina is going crazy.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so let me ask a quick question. Alvin, you are saying, what can I do? My case is current for April, but no email from KCC. Remember, there are cases they were not being interviewed from October, November, December, January, February, March. So all those people were not being interviewed before. So those are the priority to be interviewed first, or to be asking for their, make sure that they have the second notification letter. So even if your case is current, is available, like is current for the month of April, meaning this April you might get the email for documentation, or you can get the email for the visa interview for June. So very soon you'll be able to do that. So people up to May, April, May, they will start going to get the letters for the interview. But remember, there are people prior to you. Remember, the visible to say currently is assuming that people were interviewed in October. But basically from October, no one was interviewed up to today. Until mid of March when the interview started. So, Bridget, you said you have sent the information on the on Instagram. I will go to respond to you and show the how you write that the link and how you can create the template.
Show them this. That's a big thing.
Which one?
The litter, unlawful to litter, $25,000 maximum fine.
Do you see that sign? It says unfold to litter to litter. If you drop a piece of paper outside right now, your fine is 2,500.
No, 25,000.
25,000.
It could be up to.
Oh yeah, it
25,000.
will be up to 25,000. But
We don't just throw stuff on the
basically,
ground here.
most of the places they charge you 1,000 and above the fine. But
The point
yes, it
is,
can
we
go
don't
up.
just throw stuff on the ground here.
Yeah.
We try to find a place to throw it in a trash can. And you don't want to be fined. It's just not worth it. So not worth
Someone says English of your deputy is very difficult, but Jesus will guide me. Your English, like
it. Oh, my English is really
for me, I'm
hard.
talking the most African, so I'm going with my accent. But yours is coming like.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That you know what? I honestly, it's gonna take time. There are things where I still have to try and understand Ernest. I still have a hard time, and he still has a hard time. I mean, we say things to each other, and we still have no idea what we said. So It takes time, and I'm so sorry. You got to put the closed captioning on.
Yeah,
Tell them there's a little button at the top where you can hear closed captioning. Or read the closed captioning. I'm gonna have to use the bathroom, and then I'll give her some milk.
We're just going to McDonald's.
No, we're not actually going in.
We're not going inside.
I didn't say we're going inside. I didn't.
Okay.
Okay, so you are saying thank you. Okay,
Just stay here.
Kiranga, you are saying how long does the embassy take to schedule an interview after receiving documents from NVC from Nairobi? First of all, if it's the V lottery, embassy doesn't schedule the interview. The interview is scheduled by KCC. The interview, when they send you the information to you, the same information is sent to embassy that on this day there will be interview of so and so. Okay.
Everybody, thank you so much again. Like and subscribe. Happy Easter to anybody that's celebrating.
Yeah, we are almost ending. So the KCC doesn't is the one sending the interview. Embassy doesn't do that one.
Mama.
Okay, so Lydia say, meaning after I win the green card this coming month, I will not spend any money, or there's still some amount of money that I will pay. I'm from Kenya.
Baby. You found the baby. Here? Baby.
Yeah, so for instance, for my health insurance, I pay 600 per month, almost like 500 or 600, not per month, per 2 weeks, because I'm getting the maximum, the very premium, whatever health insurance for the entire family of 5.
And I'm going to get the food out.
Okay, so I have to end right now. Okay, Audrey, say thank you so much. What did you say, Mr. EBM? The results for the DV lottery for this year, yes, will be out on May 5th. So for those who will just come here, please, as I said, my wife has just started is starting a YouTube channel, and the link is on the comment. Make sure you go and subscribe. Yeah, so Canada doesn't have a free medical, but it is very, very cheap in Canada. You pay through tax. Yeah. Even in Europe, they say it's a free medical, but most of the European countries get the good medical. And Canada is very, very, they have better medical system compared to US. Very, very much better. And very affordable. But the tax is high. So I know I haven't really responded to some I haven't responded to some of the questions. I'm so sorry. But I have to stop when we have to get ready to continue the trip, which is a very long trip. So thank you so much, each and everyone. I appreciate for your time being here. Remember to subscribe to my channel. Also, there is a link I posted there for my wife channel, which is brand new. Please consider subscribing to. Which state are you in? So I live in Missouri, but now we are in West Virginia, going to Ohio. June, thank you so much for super chat from Japan. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. May God bless you. Okay, Claire, say happy Easter and bye everyone.
Happy Easter, bye.
Happy Easter, bye.
So say bye bye.
Bye.
Bye
Say
bye.
bye. I'm
Yeah.
behind you. Bye.
Okay, bye everyone.
Tutu got my hair.
Okay, bye bye.
Tutu got my hair. Say bye, Baba.
Okay.